Yeah, I mean, we've seen week one already delivered some good matchups from a fully random Swiss, and now the runners are stratified into 1-0 and 0-1 brackets. Here we have an 0-1 versus 0-1 matchup as we are underway. See what the runners find here in the Uncle's Hut. What do you think they're going to see?
Well, it looks like we're finding only a red rupee here. As for a weapon, do you have any guesses on what weapon they should be finding?
I'm tired of bomb seeds, so let's see a Cane of Samaria seed.
Okay, I can get behind that. Both of our runners here choosing the green heart color. Quite interesting, I find.
Yeah, that's another new mode of customization that has recently been added. And I called it there. The runner's finding Cane of Samaria at the Uncle.
Yep, got your wish.
I'm sure the runners aren't sad to see that either, but this right here. If Trenter had bombs, he might be bombing that chest. He's indicated that the cape is an item he did not want to see early in his sort of player bio interview.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't really get much earlier than this. It's not quite horrible yet, but it's definitely not something, as you say, you want to see early because of the implications that it might have.
Exactly. The cape is the harbinger of Aghanim, and that was a nice triple there from DrKelexo, hitting all three green guards in the hallway with one of those cane blocks.
Yeah, very nicely done. I saw a Trenter TR trying to farm out in the courtyard for a little bit, killing the green guards there. I didn't have any luck on bomb drops, but we do see a lamp from the first blue guard chest here, which means that immediately takes a sequence break out of the game that these guys surely could have done.
Yeah, I don't know about the runners' individual levels of comfort with dark rooms, but honestly, lamp and cape, we are a sword away from going up Aghanim's tower, so granted, that would not be, the quote-unquote right play by the odds out of the gate, but it's definitely something that's got to be on these runners' minds at this point.
Yeah, certainly the odds would not favor it, but it might be a gamble one of these runners wants to take if they do happen upon the sword somewhere here.
Yeah. Speaking of, where do you think we'll see our first sword today? And at what minute?
You know, at this point, since we're really only missing a sword for that Aga axis, I'm thinking the sword will be the thing that they won't find for a long while. Like, I don't know, 35 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
Wow. See, you were leaning the opposite way of me. I'm glad on that, just for a little variance in opinion. I think we're going to have like an 11-minute sword over in CAC.
I mean, it's not impossible, but I'm really hoping that with all they found so far, the sword is going to elude them for quite some time.
I mean, that, unlike cape, would be something that Trenter would be very in favor of, indicating that he likes circuitous seeds, or he dislikes linear seeds, I think is the way that he chose to put it. So if the seed gets trolly, I think Trenter's going to feel right at home.
Maybe that also indicates for him that he enjoys a good gamble. Because if you have a linear seed, you don't really ever get an opportunity to really gamble on anything, right?
What rando player doesn't enjoy a good gamble? Let's be honest. We're part of the fun of, and did you see that 4 bomb drop there on DrKelexo from the green guards, deep in that prize pack, but finally getting paid off?
Yeah, very nice. That's exactly what you're looking for when you're killing guards here. You want bombs.
Yeah, we'll see if Trenter is able to get through the prize pack all the way to that 4 bomb, because that's going to be, depending on what's in this next chest and what drops we see from the ropes and rats, that's going to be a big determining factor in early routing, depending on what's in the back of Escape.
Yeah, absolutely. That could really come back to haunt you if you end up not being able to or not finding any bombs from anywhere, and you have to come back for the back of Escape later. That could really hurt, especially since you do need a glove for coming back, or you need to make a very long trip all the way around.
I don't know if I've ever seen... I guess I've done the long trip in open mode already, but not in standard mode. I haven't had a seed that's required me to kind of make my way all the way back through from the front. I've always been able to get gloves, but so I hadn't even thought about that as a possibility, but that would be terrible. And it looks like Trenter is now trying to farm some of the ropes. Getting a red rupee for his trouble, but nothing really.
Yeah, does find his first bottle as well, so we're going to be able to check the sick kit. Also have a safety fairy. Not that we need that right now, but if he doesn't happen upon some bombs in the last room full of rats, well, we now know that he's not going to really be missing out on much, but he will probably not feel too great about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much what's actually there as it is the factor of the unknown of it all. And yeah, Trenter is... Oh, and gets his bomb. So that's going to be good.
Yeah,
that
that's at the very least. That's at the very least a lot of peace of mind, as you were saying. It's not so much what's actually in there, but leaving that behind, that just always feels really bad to any random player.
Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine the runners are using trackers, and just being able to click off that location on the tracker, it's just a little bit of peace of mind. So now Trenter knows what we know, and that is there was nothing there. Farming bombs wasn't required, but it's going to save the time of the backtrack later.
Yep, at least getting it out of the way. And DrKelexo skipping the tree pole as far as I saw, and also killing the hoarder under the bush, so doesn't care about these random items at all.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Did you see what was on there?
I did not. What was it?
It was something that means you're probably right with your sword prediction, and the boots will also be around somewhere soon, because we're gonna have to get a bow from that lumberjack cave.
Ooh, yeah. We'll see if Trenter chooses to check that location, but to be fair, you could still be right about the sword, because the bow can be very deep in the logic depending on what Eastern and Pod are.
Yeah, true. It could still happen. It just seems a little less likely now, but we'll see. It's still rando after all.
Yeah, and red rupee is the tier 2 pull. That's a good pull to know about.
Oh man,
and
that is a really good hoarder crab.
Yeah. Bush crab hoarder. DrKelexo checked the one in the Lost Woods and got some bombs, but then also chose to pick up the 5 rupees at the mushroom spot. So I imagine if DrKelexo had checked the tree pole, that 5 rupees would have been a little bit of a time save. I think we'll see Trenter definitely skip that.
Yeah, you want to have at least $100 here to pay the bottle vendor and see what he has, especially with a bottle already in hand. That means you can clear out all of Kakariko without really, having to come back to check for any items later.
Yeah, and there we see Trenter skipping that blue rupee. That's going to be a little bit of a time save over what we saw from DrKelexo. But DrKelexo already over into Blind's hut with sufficient bombs and a bottle, and going to have enough rupees. And there's the silvers, wow. So yeah, the runners are going to want to get that bow soon.
Yeah, already found those silvers, and well, we do know where the bow is, but it's maybe going to be a while till we can even get it.
Yeah, we'll see. I think... trying to decide if I have an inclination about where in CAC this sword might be resting in my mind, and I think Sick Kid's gonna pay out today.
Sick Kid, okay.
Yeah, you know, you could choose the high value locations like the well, which we still haven't seen, but no, I'm gonna make the numerically bad gamble here, and I'm gonna go with Sick Kid. Is what it is.
Ooh, there's a Moon Pearl, so that means we don't have to hope for Moon Pearl on Pyramid at least.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be get your Dark World access through Aghanim, go on over, and you know, I want to see like Boots in Pod or something horrible.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's not the sword that's holding them back, it's gonna be the boots.
Yeah. Both runners now making their way through Kakariko pretty seamlessly. Plenty of money and plenty of bombs. So, not a whole lot can go right or wrong here. It's just kind of... This is the start of things. And, oh, just a big 20 from Sick Kid.
Yeah, not the sword we were hoping for.
Yeah.
So, just before they get there, do we count library and race game as Kakariko still?
I consider them kind of an auxiliary part of that Kakariko loop. And in my mind, in terms of how Logic and Trent are getting a successful chicken clip and not soft locking in the chicken hut. So that's always good to see. I didn't even see what was at the library there. Did you catch that?
It was a red rupee.
Okay, I thought I saw a flash of red, and it couldn't have been the lamp, so... But yeah, Kak devoid of swords, so... I was wrong. Your prediction still alive and well.
It's still on the table, but we'll see. It's still at least another 25 minutes out, so they have plenty of time to prove me wrong, hopefully, for them.
Yeah, I think we've not seen a map check yet. I was watching for one from DrKelexo, because I'll often do that over by race game if I'm going to do that early, but we'll see if either runner decides to inventory the state of the map. I imagine another good opportunity being sort of this upcoming save and quit that we might see from DrKelexo over toward like Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, possibly. Usually I like to check before I go into Eastern, just because it's usually the first palace I dip into in the Light World if I choose to do any of them. Ooh, okay, that's a good find, I'd say. Even though it's wet and kind of weird and soggy, but we'll still pick it up and take it with us.
Oh, absolutely. We are not going to turn away a soggy hammer. It still deals tempered sword damage, so that's going to be a very effective weapon for the runners early on. We'll see if DrKelexo uses that here in the Mini Moldom Cave. My least favorite place to use the hammer.
Yeah, I think the Mini Moldom Cave in general is just an annoying place. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder, but it's never something you really look forward to getting through.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. And Trent are also going to the South Light World early items, so getting that hammer, and I think Trenter has closed the gap a little on DrKelexo since getting out of the escape.
Yeah, he's certainly not quite as far ahead anymore as he was. I'm really not sure where he picked up the time.
Yeah, small movement things, but DrKelexo getting the hook shot there from Generous Guy Cave. And I saw Eastern was 2, Hera was 4. I didn't catch what desert was.
I believe it was the red pendant.
Okay, I saw it was a pendant. I wasn't sure which one.
Yeah, I think it was red. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it wasn't the green one, I think. So, okay, we can't really finish up Eastern, obviously, but we can definitely check it. We're yet to find... Ooh, that is an unfortunate death, but we got
Yeah.
that safety fairy.
I was gonna say, yeah, Trenter choosing to cash in that fairy early. I kind of like that choice. Just getting rid of that fairy so that you can death warp effectively later. This is definitely a calculated play. And Flipper's at the Ice Rod Cave.
Ooh, that's not something you want to skip out on.
No, that's a location that in recent versions, the yield of that location has just increased quite a bit. And DrKelexo are going to put those right to work. 297 rupees, so Zora not yet completable. But at least can check the Hylia Island, can maybe go do Waterfall Fairy Cave, can do Hobo. There's a bunch of opportunity. Can't yet do Ice Palace.
Yeah, and I kind of like that he chose us to do this now, as opposed to saving and quitting out of the Ice Rod Cave and then, walking over to Eastern, maybe coming back here later. It kind of, as you were saying, it will probably be more useful if he already had over 500 rupees, but he's probably hoping to find, in a best case scenario, find a couple more of those from Hobo and all the other locations.
Yeah, and without a sword, it's not clear, really how effective it would be to check the stun prize and see if stun might be like 20 rupees or something that the runners could use that to farm up. So this is interesting. We'll see where DrKelexo goes from here.
He is indeed warping up to Zora, so he says, alright, I want to at least check out the Waterfall Fairy here, and maybe even check the ledge item.
And there's a flute, so that's a pretty effective little trip up to Zora's domain.
Yep. Absolutely, he wants to leave nothing behind. It's only 10 arrows here, and that's about all he can check here.
Yeah, so I suppose we're probably going to see a save and quit to Sanctuary here to go turn that flute on, and maybe a quick dip into Death Mountain to rescue an old man. See what's up on Spectacle Rock. See if the sword might be in the cave up there or something.
I'm trying to remember, since our tracker is having a little bit of a technical difficulties here. It did get a glove, right?
They do not yet have a glove. I saw a flute. I missed what the left chest was here in Waterfall Fairy Cave, so let's see. Yeah, just 5 bomb capacity, so. And Trenter gonna refill that bottle, see this is what I was saying about cashing that fairy in early. So, hey, listen, we're going to get some blue goo.
That is a very nice thing to get back from that fairy. As far as I'm aware, what you get back from throwing a bottle in is randomized as well.
I believe so. It's not a mechanic that I use nearly as much as I should.
It does cost a little bit of time, but, I mean, as we saw, potentially a free blue goo.
Yeah, that definitely took less time than finding your way over to the witch's hut. And so I think we're going to see Trenter do the same thing here, kind of push the logic along as far as the runners can. So we're sort of well out of Sphere 1 at this point by being up on Death Mountain. The flute being behind Flippers, and Flippers and Ice Rod Cave were, Sphere 0, so we're now exploring what, I guess, Sphere 2 logic?
That's a good question. I think so, yeah. I'm not really sure where it goes beyond Sphere 1, because nobody really talks about that ever.
Yeah, I mean, most of the utilities in acknowledging what your Sphere 0 and Sphere 1 steps are. And let's see what Spectacle Rock Cave is. Because those early locations tend to be the highest yield because of the item placement algorithm. Just bears out that way.
Yep.
And yeah, DrKelexo gonna go right on over and go also do the East Death Mountain because of that hook shot. And looks like Trenter is going right for East Death Mountain. Not missing anything by skipping Spectacle Rock and Spectacle Rock Cave, but again, not knowing.
Yeah, really, in rando, information is half the what do you call it? Half the win, I guess. Just knowing, what is on pedestal, what is not on pedestal. Is there something on the tablets? Do I know if there's a good item up on Spectacle Rock or in Lumberjack Cave?
Yeah, it's very much knowing is more than half the battle with Randomizer, because very often you can just play with the information that, okay, that place that I checked, I can cross it off even though I can't get the item there. Being able to say that tablet isn't worth going back, say you have, book and fighter sword.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what the Paradox Cave has here.
And there's our first sword for DrKelexo about 15 minutes earlier than I predicted.
Yeah. So I think we'll probably see Hera get cleared out because it is a crystal. And then after Hera, probably, barring anything exciting being found there, a Spiral Cave and a Save and Quit. And I'd like to see someone go right to Aga.
Yeah, I think that really is the next step that there is as far as the logic is concerned.
Yeah, hammer and hookshot already, so that's basically full Dark World access, barring gloves. But yeah, sure enough, here we see runners going into Hera. And Trenter going and taking a little side trip to play with that dead rock, and DrKelexo getting great use out of the hook shot. Using it to get that small key. You can get the small key there. It's kind of nice, but looks like we have a basement required Hera.
That's never fun.
It is a nice coffee break, but
If you can get it, it is. Yeah, DrKelexo still has his fairy, but needs to be a little careful anyways. You probably don't want to waste your fairy here, but seems like he got it all right.
Yeah, both runners getting their coffee break. Trenter, I think, is going to be able to walk right through the door. I don't know if DrKelexo is in a position where he may need to go hit that switch again.
Yeah, he might be stuck. Using that little switch block down there can either get you stuck, or he might be too far down so he can't walk up. Oh, looks fine.
Nope. Looks like he was able to walk up just fine. Wasn't sure if that was a safe spot. And taking the magic refill already. I think he had enough to use the lamp, but the lamp doesn't use too much magic, so it's just going to be a couple extra frames at the end of the dungeon on that refill. But there's that big key we knew about, and there's one more item in the upstairs of Hera. And DrKelexo, unfortunately, unable to death warp up, has to go the long way around, wants to save that fairy.
Yeah, I don't blame him, but now he's at half a heart, so it feels like it's only a matter of time. I do hope he can get through here without getting hit.
Yeah, the mini Moldorms coming up in Petting Zoo especially love to just... Oh, and the beetle got him. It looked like he was holding the sword out and then decided to try and switch over to using the hammer and just got caught at a bad time there.
Yeah, a little unfortunate, but at least it's out of the way. He's back to almost full health, and the rest of the dungeon shouldn't really be much of a problem for him now.
Yeah, fingers crossed that the rest of it goes smoothly, but it looks like I'm going to officially call it a lead change by about half a screen now. Trenter pulling ahead in progress in Death Mountain, of course, has not yet seen Spectacle Rock or the Spectacle Rock cave items. But otherwise, the runner's pretty much equal in information. Oh, looks like Trenter giving up the lead there with that 2-hole fall. It's a very obnoxious fall.
Yeah, one of the 2 holes in this dungeon that you definitely don't want to fall into. This one by the big chest and the middle hole up on Trolldorm's platform. Both of them knocking you down. 2 floors. I'm kind of wondering where Trenter is going. Are there... Oh, he needs to switch the blocks. Okay.
Yeah, I was having trouble hitting the switch from above the blocks. Just trying to switch them in the basement. And DrKelexo found the second item in Hera. Just 50 rupees in the big chest. So I think Moldorm is going to have... I think it's the map that we haven't seen. I think we had the compass earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if Moldorm is well behaved. Looks like DrKelexo going to go for a hammer Moldorm. So far, so good. 2 hits down.
Oh, almost. That was a close one.
Yeah, that hammer hitbox and Moldorm's movement can really be a pain in the butt.
There we go.
Yeah. Nice. Pretty clean fight overall. Got through it, didn't fall. That's really the big thing. Trenter getting 50 rupees. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say grabbing his first crystal is DrKelexo here, and we'll have to see now if he decides to head directly to Aga as you were hoping for after, checking the rest over here from the Spike Cave on. I'm sorry, Spiral Cave.
Yeah, I like to see the Spiral Cave play here, and then I think I'm gonna save and quit and go right to Aga. There's so much equity in the Dark World. Another very reasonable, viable play would be to head right over into Eastern and dive Eastern. Mm-hmm. I could see that being something that the runners would want to do.
Yeah, I think those are the 2, I would call them big choices that they have right now. Either do Aga 1 immediately and be like, okay, this is an Aga 1 seed, I already know I need to kill him for the bow, so I might as well get it out of the way as soon as I can. The problem with that is, they only have a fighter sword, but they do have the hammer, I guess. Makes it a little easier, but can still be a little awkward because of the hitbox you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, so we see Trenter going for sword spins on... Oh, and taking a fall. Just to note that Moldorm with the fighter sword is going to take 6 hits of any type. That'll be a poke, a slash, or a spin. You don't actually gain anything by using the fighter sword for spins against Moldorm. It's going to be 6 hits. So if Trenter pursues this line of play on Moldorm, we're going to see fast, angry Moldorm at the end. But if he sticks with hammer strats, which act a lot more like, or act exactly damage-wise like the tempered sword, hitbox-wise not so much. Now we'll see slow Moldorm for that last hit, if this last hit's a hammer hit. Because right now it's equivalent to 4 fighter sword hits.
And we are seeing the Aga play from DrKelexo immediately, as you were saying. So he is ready to immediately dip into that Dark World and get this out of the way as fast as possible.
Yeah, and I like this call. I mean, unsurprisingly, it was kind of what I was advocating for, but I'm not surprised to see it. I think that it's possible boots are over in Eastern. There's no reason to think they wouldn't be, but the downside here is that you have to do Aga's tower with the fighter sword.
I mean, I agree with you. I think this is a good play because you already know you're 100% gonna have to kill Aga 1. Oh
yeah, I mean, you can absolutely go through here. you're going to have to do it at some point. If boots are in Eastern, though, boots do substantially speed up Aga Tower. So, I mean, you probably save 15 seconds with boots.
Yeah, I don't know how much you actually save over the whole of Aga Tower. I'm really not sure if it actually speeds it up that much, because you don't really have a lot of places where you can dash for a long straight line, you know?
Yeah, it's mostly little things like bridge dashes and key dashes and things. Plus some of the overworld movement when you're headed over to Aga Tower is most of where the savings are. Like here, you get the key dash in this room. If the guards aren't on to you, things like that.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it definitely saves time.
Yeah, it's not as big of a time save as somewhere like, say, Desert Palace, where there are these huge straight open spaces that you're dashing. Not to mention the potential of something being on the torch and being locked behind boots. Hybrid fighter, sword, and hammer strats here on these red guards. These guys are jerks no matter what your weapon.
Yeah, they never stop walking towards you, and then they get stuck in your hitbox, and you just can't get out, as we see here with DrKelexo, who has to employ the cape strats to even get away from that one red guard.
Yeah, that guy was being exceptionally sort of angry today. Thankfully, DrKelexo knows where there's hearts in these pots, because he was down to half a heart. And Trenter matching with the Aga play here. So if boots are in Eastern, both runners are going to have to find it later.
Yeah, I mean, as you were saying earlier, this is a play that you apparently very much like because you were advocating for it. I also like this very much, so I think these runners might be thinking similarly about this.
Oh yeah, this is, this is the quandary of Randomizer. For the most part, unless you're full clearing a seed because things aren't going very well, or the logic is doing what it does, you're going to be giving up there's some opportunity cost to every location you check. And so you're accepting the risk of, yeah, if boots are over in Eastern, that's fine. I'm losing a little bit of time by not getting them now because I'm going to have to eventually. But the odds of them being in Dark World are probably greater than the odds of them being in Eastern.
Yeah, and I think a big decision maker in this whole thing was definitely the Moon Pearl, because I think if they hadn't found the Moon Pearl yet, the chance of them immediately going to Aga 1 despite finding that sword and all the items pointing them there would have been a lot smaller.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, here we're in a seed where we have Hookshot, Hammer, and Moon Pearl, all very early, plus Cape Lamp and Fighter Sword for Aga Tower. Like, it really is just saying, go to Dark World early, go get it done. So the runners are, betting that their gloves are both in some way behind Aga, whether they're behind the bow, or whether they're actually in the Dark World. And Trenter, down to 3 hearts, had a little bit of an alarm sounding, the low health sound, but ooh, be careful, be careful. Okay, I'm gonna incapacitate the guards.
Yeah, it's cutting it a little close here, but also, oh, that's so unfortunate. He saw the heart right there. There was like a pixel away, maybe?
Oh no, yeah. That is rough. I would have been tempted there to use Boomerang, but it looked like Trenter may have wanted to get away from that green rupee stun prize and tried to see if he could maybe get something out of the red guard's prize pack.
Yeah, he definitely thought he could throw that pot at the guard before he would poke him.
And DrKelexo making the play over into Bowless Mirrorless Pod.
An interesting choice. After only finding a heart container in the pyramid, this is the closest thing he can really get to immediately, and he chose to go right there. He says, alright, this is where my stuff must be.
Yeah, I mean, no gloves. This is pretty much the place. I fully expect there to be a power glove somewhere in here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. He's at least not bow locked yet. Uh-oh.
Yeah, use that cape.
Yeah, better put all that stuff to use and be a little more careful. It's, as we can see right here, it's no fun dying on your way up to Aga 1. And when you've already died once, it's not exactly unheard of to be a little tilted by that.
Yeah, Aga 1 is one of the quote-unquote worst deaths you can take in the game as far as just the amount of time it sinks. And there's no item density. This is just a complete item desert for the runners. The only thing they're getting out of this, quote-unquote only thing, is Dark World access and eventually Lumberjack access.
Mm-hmm. DrKelexo picking up all the keys that we can find in Pod, all the small keys, even got the big key. He's still looking for those items. So far, nada.
Trenter on to round 2 with Circle of Pots room. And choosing to use the pots very, very aggressively and makes it through. That's good.
Yes, very nicely done. Looking for some more hearts. I don't think there's anywhere left here, unfortunately.
Yeah, did grab the 6 NMG rupees there. So if he's looking to be able to use those for Kiki, he is set. But Trenter has indicated that he started playing about 2 months ago and doesn't have any NMG experience. So I don't think those rupees have the same meaning to him as to a lot of players.
Probably not. And DrKelexo, talking about rupees, finds a big 300 here, but so far he's found a heart piece and 300 rupees, and now the last place he can possibly check, another 300.
Yeah, so Pod full of cash, but it looks like Eastern Palace may have been the play. And I think we're going to see DrKelexo head there. Also, don't want to say too much about it, but we haven't seen Catfish or Agina, those two kind of loose end type locations that are so far away on the map, but sometimes can pay off big.
Yeah, and it looks like we're immediately heading back to the Dark World here for DrKelexo, so no check of the light or locations whatsoever. He also has more than enough money for Zora now, but who wants to go back there?
Hype Cave is the order, I think.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Yeah. So let's get those hypes in the chat here, because we have some Hype Cave coming up.
Well, we shall see. I'll not say anything till we actually see what it's got, but it's been plenty disappointing.
Oh, and we had Pod was a 5/6 crystal. Meyer was also a 5/6 crystal. I didn't catch where the blue and green pendants were. We did get that Dark World map check pretty quickly from DrKelexo. Heart bottle, blue rupee, piece of heart, and bomb capacity. That was...
Nope.
Devoid of hype.
Mm-hmm. That was not exactly what we were hoping for at all.
Nope, but Trenter... Oh, Trenter's going a different way. Okay, Thieves Town's green and Swamp is blue. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And as you were saying, 5 and 6 is Pod and Meyer. So we got all our information as far as crystals and pendants is concerned. That You know, if Thieves Town has to be a pendant, it's at least a green pendant. I'd probably be happy about that. That's the one, the one good thing about it.
Yeah. Oh, and the Ropa jumping on DrKelexo. That is unfortunate because he was trying to get up to Catfish, it looked like.
Yeah, making his way up there by hammering that peg, you don't see that a whole lot, but as you were saying, that Ropa. I think the Ropas are probably the worst enemy in the whole game, at least to me.
That's a strong assertion.
Maybe
But,
maybe not the worst, but the ones that have killed me the most.
Okay, I was
Just purely when I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, Dead Rock wants a word with you, I think.
Yeah, okay, I don't even count those guys because they are just, they're in a whole different classification.
We'll see. It looks like DrKelexo is committed to this Catfish play, potentially. So that's one thing we've seen from both the runners so far is a good amount of persistence. Both runners kind of taking some obnoxious deaths and jumping right back into it. So good on them.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot playing into a tournament race like this. It's not only that you're being restreamed in front of who knows how many hundreds of people, it's also that you're just generally nervous about everything happening because, you're racing in a tournament setting, everything is new.
Oh, absolutely. Tournament nerves are a very real thing. Shoutouts to what seems to be the over 400 people who are watching right now. So the crowd really and chat help make this whole experience great. So it's always good to see people getting so fired up for Randomizer.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we see DrKelexo here continuing his way over to the North Dark World. No gloves available means no catfish check. Which he just realized as well, as we did, by going up to that big rock and then going, oh wait, I can't lift that.
Wow, we all got debated. I apologize. That was... That's one of the things is there's so much, small knowledge sort of in this game, and it's very easy to make mistakes like that, even having played for quite a while. And unfortunately, those pterodactyls doing a number, but Trenter found his boots, gonna go get his bow.
Yeah, absolutely. Hype Aghanim Shack here, as it seems. An old man hiding... wait, not Aghanim, Sahasrara, I'm sorry. I always mix these two guys up. I don't know why.
Man. Sahasrara is just an old cowboy hanging out in a shack.
Yeah, the poor guy doesn't deserve it. I agree. I sincerely apologize.
Aghanim is like a corrupted evil wizard. I can understand the confusion. They're very similar things.
Kind of. They're both old and men, I guess.
I don't know if Aghanim's gendered or not.
I'm not sure myself, to be honest, but I think it says somewhere in the manual, maybe. Not too important either way. We do find powder, Pegasus boots, and the Master Sword, and we get a little dance.
Hey, DrKelexo with the boots dance, and Trenter setting up spin speed. It's a nice Japanese 1.0 specific glitch that unfortunately makes these red guards really obnoxious, but also gave him that frame perfect quick drop right there, so let him get away from the red guard. These guards much more aggressive after having killed Aghanim.
Yeah, a lot changes in the overworld once you kill Aghanim, and it's not exactly super hard, it's just really more annoying most of the time.
And DrKelexo going right to the magic bat. See if we get vanilla half magic today.
Half magic, probably one of my favorite non-progression items to find.
Yeah, when I started NMG, I still was getting half magic because it can be, even though it takes a lot of time, it can just be such a convenience item that I am never sad to see half magic, especially in Rando. It looks like Trenter is going to hookshot over to this chest, but
Yeah.
let's see what happens here. I think the chest may remain a mystery to me. I'm a little frozen up.
Sadly, I am as well. And it looks like...
Oh,
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out at some point what it was, if it was anything important. Now DrKelexo picking up his bow.
excellent.
And Trencher is picking up a blue rupee from the... I believe that's a compass chest, normally in Eastern Palace.
That one over... Oh, yeah, the one after the... or prior to the vanilla big key. I think that is the compass chest. Yeah. And DrKelexo again getting a little jebaited by the lack of gloves, trying to take that that back way up to Eastern, and then seeing the rock and being like, oh shucks, I don't have those gloves yet. The gloves gotta show up soon, though.
Yeah, it can't be long anymore at this point. I mean, we've even got the Master Sword and everything now. We've got the whole complete Aga 1 care package out of the way, even after we've already killed Aga 1.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're well away from go mode, but we are pretty deep in the sort of early progression of the logic, so... Those gloves... The gloves gate so many things that we're gonna have to see them soon.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised to see the gloves and the Titansmiths follow relatively quickly. Like, getting these guys getting them in quick succession, sort of.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I've seen a lot of vanilla Titansmiths over in Thieves Town, so I wouldn't be surprised to see those come up again.
Yeah, Thieves Town has been open to them for quite some time now. And the chest over there was the big key.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dark World locations that are open right now. Because of Hammer and Hookshot and going to Dark World through Aga, there's a lot of stuff that's open to the runners. It's kind of crazy that we see them both hanging around in Eastern, but I guess it goes to speak to the sort of high priority people place on these sort of first item sphere locations. Because they could be anything.
Yeah, they really could be, and unfortunately for these guys, Eastern hasn't really paid out. We now see Trenter making his first way into Pod. He'll find a lot of money from what we've seen so far, but he does have the ability to go in a little further than DrKelexo was earlier.
Yeah, also with the bow, hammer, and lamp, completing Pod is completely within the logic. So we could see a full clear of Pod here, which 5 items plus a crystal, I think it's a great call.
Yeah, not a bad play at all. Might as well get it out of the way, and by the looks of it, these guys are all about getting the crystals as quickly as they can, not wasting a whole lot of time on unnecessary overworld checks, or at least what they perceive as unnecessary right now.
A little bit of I'll say an interdimensional dungeon high five here, with both runners kind of in the same part of the map, but in distinct dungeons right now.
Yep, slapping those hands together across dimensions.
It's great to see such camaraderie.
We also, I wanted to mention this earlier, but we also have both of our runners today choosing a female sprite. You usually, see a female sprite pop up here or there, especially the more popular Toho sprites or something like that.
Yeah, I think I was watching a race earlier where both runners were using one of the Toho sprites. I don't know much about Toho as far as the names of the sprites or anything, but it was cool to see both players on both sides of the screen choosing the same custom sprite. So shout outs to our sprite making community. They've done an excellent job. Everyone really giving a variety of options for the players to choose to play as for their avatar.
All right, DrKelexo picking up the crystal out of Eastern Palace, and Trenter checking the rest of the front here, and then he's probably, or more than likely, going to head over to the Bowlock section and show us some new stuff that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, Bowlocked no more. Aga down and boots acquired. Both runners finally have that bow. I wonder where DrKelexo is going to go now. I think maybe over to Village Outcasts. Head over toward Thieves, even though it's just a pendant, but we'll see. There's that half magic.
Yep, that's a very nice find, and also something that DrKelexo could have checked earlier, I believe, right? He could have gotten down there.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually had to look over to DrKelexo's screen just to double check that there wasn't a little half floating atop the magic bar that I had missed, because I would have expected him to have checked that location on the first pass.
Yeah, really, I'm really kind of surprised by that, but since he's obviously heading right back there, which is, as we were saying earlier, definitely not a bad choice at all, he will hopefully pick that up, or at the very least go back in and look for the last item that he's still missing after completing the dungeon.
Yeah, I think that both runners have an opportunity to knock this out as a third crystal. There's definitely something to be said for completing a crystal dungeon rather than going over and diving into a pendant one. Even with so many associated overworld locations, this is guaranteed progress, because the runners are guaranteed to get one of their 7 crystals out of this dungeon. And there's that half magic for DrKelexo.
Yeah, right. The first thing that he checks. Oh, and Trenter forgot that he doesn't have the big key yet. That's a little bit unfortunate here. Gonna have to potentially make his way all the way back to that big chest later on.
Ugh. Yeah, hopefully he knows a hammer jump setup and can just jump in and maybe death warp back out, but otherwise that is a lengthy trip through that dark maze. And DrKelexo going to be the first one over on to right side. So we'll see. Just
another key.
And something through this wall.
That's a compass, I guess. So maybe I haven't been counting items, to be fair, but I think Helmasaur still has something. Alright, DrKelexo waiting for the lengthy wall opening sequence, one of the many in this game. I think they really got their money's worth out of this wall opening animation.
Sorry about that. I had a little bit of an internet outage hiccup, so I missed a little bit. I'm trying to get caught back up, so sorry for leaving you hanging there, Herfy.
Oh, no problem at all. Glad to have you back. You didn't really miss a whole lot. We found a compass, as you might have seen still.
Yeah, the right side small chest was where I cut out. I think that had to be the big key.
The right side small chest was a small key, and then through the wall was the compass.
Oh, through the wall was the compass. Where was the big key then?
That's a good question. I didn't pay attention because DrKelexo apparently already had it.
I remember it was the right side chest in the dark room with the anti-fairies and the rupees in the basement.
Oh yes.
Up near the maze. And so I think, did we see Trenter backtrack through the maze and go get the big chest then?
Yes, just before he heads to Helmasaur, where he is now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for catching me up. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah, DrKelexo, using those silver arrows, making quick work of that Helmasaur phase 2. That one can get a little aggressive.
Yeah, if you don't take him out quickly, and once he... Ooh, the mirror as a reward for that. That's a very nice find.
Oh yeah. That's kind of trolly, because of all the places where you really want mirror where it's not required, Pod is at, like, the top of that list.
Yeah, very true. And as you were saying that, I was looking over our tracker again, and Swamp is a pendant. And all this does is open up more potential item locations where all these trolley items can be, so maybe it's not such a great find.
Yeah, it does, Oh, these turtles are getting the better of Trenter right now. They're all flipped over and getting aggressive. Hopefully Trenter can get them under control. Okay, there we go. We're through the turtle room.
Yeah,
but yeah, mirror not opening up too much. It is a really nice mobility item in a sense, because it's going to let the runners move between worlds when they're doing especially their overworld checks over toward the Village Outcasts area.
Mm-hmm.
And it does eventually, once they find those gloves, open up sorry. They just need gloves. They don't need the mirror. They have... Or yeah, that does give them backdoor desert access. But that's also just a pendant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, mirror... Oh no, Trenter. Take Helmasaur.
That is also a very costly death, considering how much time you need to get back all the way to Helmasaur there.
It looks like Trenter is going right back through. Thankfully, the path to Helmasaur, while kind of long, is fairly linear with respect to the overall layout of Pod.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it looks like DrKelexo is immediately making use of that mirror, finding his way into some location. It's going to be a little bit tougher to find his way back to that King's Tomb here. Thankfully, already has the boots to get some of those rocks out of the way. But
yeah, you can get through there without anything, but it's quite tricky if you don't know how.
Yeah, he was definitely not in the part of the graveyard. It's a pretty circuitous walk, and all for a heart container. But also, riffing on the same theme we've visited before, it's another location off the map, and that's almost more valuable than the heart container. Especially once you already have 11 hearts.
And yeah, we're still looking for some gloves to show up. We still wouldn't mind a mail upgrade at this point, since we're really digging into the dark world here. The rods are yet to be found anywhere. We need potentially 2 medallions for both of the medallion dungeons.
Yeah, there are a lot of items left to find here for the runners. And not a lot turning up, but I think here DrKelexo is going to be the first one over into this part of the Dark World. And I have high expectations for Village of Outcasts in Thieves Town. There's gotta be something.
I'm a little surprised to see him run past the Bumper Cave, since he already has the cape as well.
Yeah, that was a peculiar choice. It is a little out of the way. There are, murder pterodactyls up that way, so... Trenter getting his mirror as a reward for persisting and getting through that Helmasaur fight, or Helmasaur King fight. I'll see what the chest game has for DrKelexo today. A big nada. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, we still got a little bit left to check here. Oop.
I can't tell if it's my internet acting up or if I'm having stream problems, but I seem to have lost things again. Oh, and we're back.
Yep, we're back.
Wonderful. So, sorry about that. My internet's been acting up the past couple days, and so... I'm never sure if it's me or if it's the stream in general.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem. My internet's been not too nice lately, but I think we're having a little issue today, a little bit of technical difficulties, but no problem. We're always right back.
Right,
can't keep the rando down.
No, we will persist. Trenter taking a bit of an unorthodox route up this way. I guess forgetting about the hammer peg and using the flippers to get up around this way.
Yeah, it's also unfortunately going to find out that, yep, you do need a glove.
Yeah, so there's... Oh, okay. Using the cape to get past these ropas. Sometimes those ropas are just going to hit you. But now with cape and half magic, there is a whole lot of safety that the runners have just from a magic bar.
Mm-hmm.
And Trenter putting it to good use. And decide there's too many ropas there, doesn't want to go get that heart container. Or no. We might see him go through the graveyard the long way.
Yeah, really wants to be careful here with those robots. I think maybe was that sand cart in there?
It was not. It was just a regular old heart container.
Oh, okay.
And just a red rupee from the digging game. DrKelexo decides that is not worth the fanfare. I agree.
Yeah, who wants that? Not with 1,000 rupees still in the pocket. Kiki already paid, digging game paid, chest game paid.
Oh, and where DrKelexo just put that mirror down, I think we might see the bush interfere and almost wants that green rupee. Let's see,
Yeah.
Is DrKelexo going to be able to get back to the Dark World?
I think this might be problematic. He cut the bush down and then that's where he mirrored back, so he really needs to catch the outer edge of the portal, and this might take
This should be good.
tries.
This should be good.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. But yeah, he put that portal right where that bush was. I'm glad he was able to not lose his mirror spot.
You know, now that I see him check the map, he did just kind of skip out on the back of Thieves Town, didn't he?
Did he do the front of Thieves Town? I don't think he did. I don't think he did any of Thieves Town. I could be mistaken.
I definitely saw one of the guys go into Thieves Town, but I don't think anyone decided to finish it up in any way.
Okay, yeah, there was... a little bit of time where I was sort of having some technical issues, and so that might have been kind of concurrent there, so my apologies. Looks like Trenter's setting up for that mirror ledge. We know it's not anything from having seen it from DrKelexo, but it'll be one more box checked.
Ooh, and Kelexo apparently picked up a glove somewhere that I also missed. I'm definitely not on my game today.
Yeah, we will finally get that that catfish check. So we'll see what catfish has today.
Yeah, now that he has the mirror, he can combine it with Zora as well. He has checked everything around Zora, but didn't have enough money on his first trip there. Yeah, and I agree with Chad. The gloves must have been during the dark times.
Yeah, it's important that we don't know where those gloves are, so we don't know where Trenter needs to go to get them. But I'm gonna see the bonk rocks here, and that was just 50. I think we saw that one. And chat confirming we saw Thieves Town, but not blind.
Yeah, it looks like Zora has nothing for us.
Not unusual, but always disappointing. So, one glove. Where does DrKelexo go? Maybe it finished Thieves?
Yeah, at this point, I'm really not sure. I guess Swamp is open
I was gonna
also.
say Swamp. Yeah, Swamp. Pendant Swamp, though.
I mean, you definitely don't want to go there, but it has a lot of items.
Yeah, it does have 6 items in it, so there's that. I don't think we've seen Bombo's tablet yet either, which could be doubled up with that part of the map.
Do we have a book, though?
We don't have a book. Never mind. Yeah, so Bombo's tablet's still off the table.
Ooh, and we just
And
found the gloves.
Yeah, the gloves were Bombable Hut. And we'll see. We know chess game is just the 20 rupees. Trenter getting 100 rupees, where DrKelexo just got a single arrow.
Rigged. Alright, we're seeing a dip into Skull Woods, and I guess DrKelexo is hoping to find at least some progression, if not the Fire Rod, if he can.
Yeah, if it is Skullwood's Fire Rod, this could be a very big play, because with 2 items and the conventional V29 wisdom being that Skullwoods is no longer as loaded as it used to be, it might be a while before Trenter comes up to Skullwoods, so this could be a big play. And I have to assume that the glove that DrKelexo found was in Bombable Hut.
Yeah, I think there's really no other possibility, I hope anyways.
DrKelexo doing the optimal mummy statue room strat of just use Cane of Samaria for 300 rupees is our first Skullwoods item. And looks like Trenter is also going to leave Thieves Town.
Yeah, oh nope, DrKelexo is mirroring back. I was gonna say maybe now we see the bumper cave check from him, but instead he is
doing something. He can get some bombs from the bush crab here if he wants them. Can get bullied in the Lost Woods by the thieves.
Yeah, not sure where we're going right now, but we'll see. I'm sure he has a plan.
Yeah. That's one of the cool things about Rando is once things open up so far, that there's so many different actionable plans that the runners can take, and there's always one that is better than the others statistically. But then who knows what's actually going to pay out? So we'll see what DrKelexo is working on right now.
It looks like he's heading back to the Dark World War, which I'm not quite sure about, but...
Okay, maybe just to avoid going through the dungeon areas in his golds, but he wasn't too deep into Skull Woods, so we'll see where he's headed. Meanwhile, Trenter gonna go over and dig up his 20 rupees.
Yep, and DrKelexo is going back into TT, so we're gonna see the rest of Thieves Town, or at least the rest of the items that are in here.
I think I think things are pretty well dried up, and that this could be the call to make.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, what else do we have left? We could still go into Swamp. It's ugly, but it's there.
I think it's this in Swamp. You could fake Flipper to ice and stare longingly at the Titan's mitt block.
Yeah, you could try that.
That probably wouldn't work very well. Same thing with some of the Dark Death Mountain type stuff. You could head over that way and then just kind of stare at your Turtle Rock access. So
yeah, again, it's a glove that's holding us back.
Yeah, we're throttled by where this second glove is.
So, dear rest of Thieves Town, other than killer crickets, what do we have? A red rupee, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know how many items we've already seen from Thieves. I assume if this was the play from DrKelexo that there were at least 2 items left.
And it looks like...
There's always a minimum of 1, because you have to find the big key in the first 4, but...
Yes.
We'll see. It looks like Trenter is doing the swamp play, so we're going to see which of these 2 lines of play is going to pay out.
Yeah, these are their 2 choices, as we were pointing out earlier, so we'll see. I guess Trenter will definitely be a little longer if he decides to full clear this than DrKelexo will be. But we might find some good stuff right from the get-go.
Good stuff like Big Key. That means that we won't be forced to re-enter to get all 6 items, so... That's always reassuring.
It's not, optimally you want to find a great item, but at least, as you say, you don't have to re-enter and walk all the way back to the big chest at the end of it.
Yeah, it won't be a Big Key on Argus for re-enter to 20 rupees situation. Definitely not speaking from experience, not still salty.
No, nobody has ever experienced something like that.
We'll see how DrKelexo handles the blind fight here. So I don't think that he knows the script, so this fight can get a little chaotic. Turns into a little bit of a bullet hell situation here once there are 2 heads flying around, but he's doing very nicely at dodging the heads and the particles.
Yeah, so far so good. Ooh. Okay.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought we were going to see Cape there, but decided to use the red potion instead.
Saving those valuable frames at the refill at the end.
Yeah, we'll see if Green Pendant delivers.
Oh, man.
And
oh, that's interesting.
Okay. The immediate mirror out.
Oh, man, I'm not sure I agree with that personally. I'm not saying it's a bad play, but I probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, conventional wisdom is please try and prevent yourself from having to double dip pendant dungeons. But at the same time, we saw runners given the option of go for a second dip into Pendant Thieves versus go dip into Pendant Swamp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it was just kind of an awkward choice of damnations there, but I think both runners are handling, the challenges of this seed pretty well so far.
Absolutely.
We'll see what Fire Rod leads to. It could be that the rest of Swamp is completely blank, and I think we're going to see DrKelexo go to Swamp right now. So we'll see if he chooses to leave after Fire Rod. I'd like to see him make the big play of staying in Swamp, and we'll find out what's in the back of Swamp, or at least what's in other item locations in Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll know whether Trenter's going to need to go back there or not.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm gonna be a bit selfish and also wish that DrKelexo stays just because I really want to know what the other items in Swamp are.
Yeah, they should distribute spoiler logs.
Yeah, that would turn out well, I'm sure.
Yeah, for commentators, clearly.
Of course. I wonder how much bribage this would start.
Yeah, I enjoy the hype of having no idea what's going to happen and making all sorts of mistakes along with the runners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me as well.
I was going to say, except for when the runners play much better than I commentate, in which case then I'm just the one making mistakes.
Yeah, that's, but that's something you just gotta... on the other hand, those kind of runners, they make it very easy to commentate for them because nothing ever happens to them.
You see, DrKelexo getting nearer and nearer to that Fire Rod, about to get this big key here. And Trenter also using some nice Cane of Samaria strats in the mummy statue room, getting 300 rupees, and gonna use the mirror instead of the fake mirror of the Wallmaster.
Taking a ride with the Wallmaster.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Hey, I'm usually the guy complaining about how are these guys called Wallmaster and they're coming from the ceiling, but then someone, brings out the big old, ooh, have you played Zelda 1 bat? And yes, I have, and I know they come out of the wall, it's there. Still, I feel my complaint is very valid.
What's a ceiling but a wall?
I mean, I feel like I've heard that before.
It's a little weird that they do kind of drop from the sky in this game, because we never really see the ceilings, so I assume they're not there.
Yeah, that's another good point that one could argue.
We do see floors, which would imply the existence of ceilings, and oh, that bunny sprite is pretty awesome.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
That's another one of the fun things from these custom sprites, is getting to wait and see what the bunny is going to be. And a little bit of trouble here. This is a horrible room. There's a mummy that you want to hit into the spikes or Fire Rod or otherwise dispatch, and then 3 enemies that have really awkward movement and knockbacks, and a Wallmaster.
And a Wallmaster.
They knew what they were doing.
Oh, absolutely. I'm 100% sure they were giggling to themselves as they were making that room.
That was a really swell Moth fight there from Trenter, using some really nice Master Sword poke dash strats there to manage Moth sticking on the back wall.
Yeah, that was really good. That was absolutely beautiful.
That's probably the best boss fight we've seen on screen in the past hour and 20 minutes. That was really, really well done.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. And meanwhile, DrKelexo is making his way further into Swamp, even checking all of left side, so he didn't stop at the Fire Rod at all. He says there's gotta be more stuff in here.
Yeah, he might just be wanting to route in left side and kind of doing more of like sort of the conventional full clear pathing, where if he just didn't think to go to the big key chest, you know, it would be something that you would generally route in a little later. Sort of heading over to the vanilla big key location.
Mm-hmm.
And just a compass, and left side swamp has one more chance. Sorry, just 10 arrows.
Nothing worth. And Trenter has also, once again, as many of us, experienced the most awful swamp, Skullwoods that you can, where you find the big key and the last possible chest, and of course there's an item left in here.
Yep, and going for the vanilla route to the big chest, getting a little bit of a cutscene, and $20.
Yeah.
So that was not where the progress was.
Nope, so I think we're going to see what we want to see here on DrKelexo's screen relatively soon.
Yeah, it's this. Green pendant is still an option. And otherwise, I think that's pretty much it.
Have we seen Agina yet? I feel like someone's been at Agina, right?
Ooh, no, we still have not seen Agina.
Okay, good. Then that's still in play somehow.
And is Trenter going... Okay, not going back into Swamp yet. That's...
Ooh,
I
and we
like
see
that call.
the Titansmiths on DrKelexo's side of map and the Titansmiths down there in those two chests. So there is the progress that we've been looking for.
That's the big one there. I think that's going to be the key. So Trenter can do basically whatever, and we know that going back to Swamp is going to be the thing that is going to progress the seed.
Yeah, especially since his choices are going to be very limited here. He's going to do the whole Quakefish Zora route now, and after that, I don't really know where else he could possibly go that he hasn't checked yet.
Agina, Green Pendant. Did Trenter do Back of Thieves?
No, that's also still a possibility. And that's also, he has to do that before he can even check the Green Pendant.
Yeah, that's... I wasn't sure. I didn't think Trenter had the Green Pendant yet, no. So yeah, I think we might be looking at a Back of Thieves play next, just thinking of it through Trenter's eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little bit of a unfortunate choice because he basically has to decide between two pendant dungeons that he has been into already. But Thieves Town is shorter, and he gets the Green Pendant, which is the potential of another item, so it will make the most sense to go into Thieves Town first.
Meanwhile, a nice Argus fight from DrKelexo turns into a Cane of Berna.
Yep, that is our last item in Swamp, but the big one definitely being the Titansmiths here. We're still on the lookout for some sort of medallion or medallions.
Yeah, we still don't know anything about the medallion situation. DrKelexo does now have Mire area access, and so I want to see that happen, but looks like we're going to see that Skullwoods play first with that Fire Rod. But
yeah,
with Flute, Mitts, Mirror, Cane, I want to see that the Mire area play.
Absolutely. If the Mire chat should by chance have a medallion that is even the one that's required for Mire, he can get right in there and full clear it as soon as he wants.
Yeah. Skull is a crystal that he knows he can do, though, so... I get behind going up here and just knocking this one off.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, not going to be able to check the pedestal, so the utility of these pendants he's been accruing still remains unknown. So, unfortunately, you won't be able to check to see if it's worth going and finishing Desert while he's over there. With how this seed has been so far, I would have been kind of inclined to just go to Mire area, do Desert, and just go blind pull.
I mean,
With
yeah,
with green and blue already down, like that's not where
maybe.
you want to be, but
Mm-hmm.
no. That's kind of the sort of gamble I like in this position, just because Book is nowhere to be found.
I mean, you probably wouldn't be too wrong about it. It's a gamble, as you were saying. It's a gamble, and it's definitely not a bad gamble, I don't think. I think we're going to see Ice Palace after this. That's my next guess.
Oh yeah, with Mitts and Fire Rod, Ice is open, and Half Magic makes that particularly palatable, so yeah. I think that's definitely the better play.
Yeah, but as you were saying, it would be a gamble, and it might be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I would be just as hype as chat would be for it, but it probably isn't the most sensible play.
Yeah, okay.
Go do a crystal that I know I can complete, or go do the third pendant and go all the way up to the pedestal.
I mean, we do, as Chad is pointing out here, we do have the items that we still need for Go Mode are the items that can be pretty much anywhere in the whole game.
Yeah, this seed from a collapsing things into actually providing direction standpoint has not been very, very kind. That ice rod looms large.
It definitely does. And really, so do the medallions, kind of. At least if there's more than one required, that's going to be the first problem. And then even finding one of them seems to be a problem so far.
Yeah, the medallions are really being exceptionally hard to find this seed. We do see DrKelexo setting up for that Ice Palace play, which, as much as I want to see the blind ped pull, I do agree with your assertion that Ice is the way to go, so I'm glad to see this. And it looks like Trenter is going to be finding his Titan's Mitts here very soon, so that's good that he won't be caught for too long. A little bit of trouble with this jelly, though. Those things have the worst hitbox, and they like sit in the wall, and they're otherwise incredibly scummy enemies. And, oh no. I was watching the Pengators here from DrKelexo, and I missed Trenter taking a death, but looks like he is back into Swamp, thankfully. And nothing in that Pengator room from DrKelexo. Unfortunately, not a small key, so we're going to have to see how DrKelexo chooses to route Ice Palace. When that first chest is not a small key, it always gets a little more interesting.
I think Ice Palace, one of these dungeons where you're hard-pressed to find people who are really big fans of it.
I think it's excellently designed, but that doesn't make me like doing it anymore. Like, I think both from a speedrunning perspective and from a dungeon design perspective, I think it's a pretty cool dungeon.
On the speedrunning perspective, I agree with you, but on the dungeon design, as you're supposed to do it the vanilla way, I think it's a little ridiculous. Because you have to do like 3 complete rounds or something.
I mean, it's like the OG water temple.
That's a good point. I can't even argue with that.
Like, it's not easy, and it's confusing as all get out, but it is super cool when you finish it.
Yeah, it's true. You do have that feeling of accomplishment when you're like, all right, I figured this out. That was really cool. But it just takes so long.
And Trenter getting those Titan's mitts and bombing the chest. that chest, well-earned bomb.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in Trenter's situation.
Yeah. Having already been here in Pendant Swamp, gotten a big item, got out, tried to play aggressively, and just getting punched right in the face for it. That always hurts. And gotta avoid... Okay, good. Made it through the swim safely. Thankfully, Argus can be a less likely to kill you boss, but you cannot spend too much time with those puffs from the bottom. So hopefully, sort of. Okay, charging the spins, hooking and spinning. That's a good, safe approach to this fight, as DrKelexo goes through one of the most inconvenient rooms in Ice Palace, the site of the 5th bomb jump, over here to the iced tea room.
He's also managed to pick up a mushroom so far, and now the big key, so we've already gotten at least one item out of Ice Palace.
Oh, you gotta get away from that Argus there, Trenter. Okay, good. Yes, this hook and release a charge spin approach. Pretty good, but ooh, I'm always terrified of hooking things from the bottom, one hit from death, because for whatever reason, if you hook up and bring them in from the bottom, they can hit you, and oh, oof.
Oh boy, he's making it really close on a bunch of these.
Just spin, just spin and keep moving.
There we go.
Oh,
oh no.
Well, we're gonna see Swamp Palace continue to be the bane of Trenter here. Yeah, it looks like
yeah,
he's dipping
opting to
out.
leave.
Gonna leave the blue pendant for later. Hopefully, much post credits later.
That would definitely be the optimal thing for him. I think it's a good choice for him to leave. I think so far we have enough spots left to check that the likelihood of something that we need being on the pedestal is relatively low, I would say.
Yeah, I'm gonna be rooting against Pedseed here for Trenter. I want to see that blue pendant not be required. Because that was just really painful. Thankfully, okay, over into Ice Palace. Both runners not making my go blind to Pendant Desert to force blind Ped. So, you know.
Well, I mean,
shoutouts to crazy gambles.
And that's why everyone here is different in this tournament.
Yeah, they let everyone play, even me. Great.
That's not what I was getting at. Alright, we see DrKelexo now heading into the last part of the Ice Palace. Gonna be pulling some statues, hammering some stuff, picking up some other stuff. This room's got it all.
Yep. Yeah, that room. So obnoxious that you randomly need hammer to make it all the way to Gold Stair. But, I mean, that's design of the game.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to have a room in here that makes you do everything that you possibly can do, except maybe swim.
Yeah, pretty quick Cold Stair fight there, using that half magic to full effect. To once the ice was melted, then make sure the puffs were also melted.
Very nicely done from him. Grabs a small key, which doesn't help us anything, but we'll take it anyways.
I think Trenter might be playing a little on tilt from that Argus situation. Just having a little bit of unexpected trouble there with the bombs, laying an extra bomb in a really inconvenient spot. But makes it through okay. So deeper into Ice Palace, and now it's time for DrKelexo to make the stupid desert play.
Now is the time. Now you have to do it.
Let's see it. Come on, one time.
I think, I hope, what he's actually doing is the blacksmith and possibly Gary's lunchbox.
Ah, let me down.
I'm very sorry, but I think that's what's happening. And Trentra is having some trouble with the bomb jump here. Opts to check in his bottles, doesn't have anything left.
Yeah, half a heart. Thankfully, he's got powder, and there is a refill opportunity, and there's a heart under this skull here in the middle. And so that's gonna not be too much safety, but just a little bit.
At least it makes you feel a little bit better. It's still under the threshold with the green mail, really, for anything hitting you, I'd say. Almost anything.
Yeah, there's the jellies and falling in holes and things that it kind of... and this spike that it would protect you from, but... the fire bar. Actually, there's a lot of stuff in Ice Palace that only deals one heart. The spikes. So... you know, looks like he made it cleanly through there, and don't want to take a hit from these guys, though. These Freezors, I think they deal 2 apiece, getting that mushroom. And trying to decide where to go. Oh, also opens up bomb jumps as an option.
Oh yeah, very true.
But we're going to see some nice sort of intended routing here, which, honestly, full clear Ice Palace with Cane of Samaria, skipping the bomb jump are debatably faster, or honestly, deterministically faster. Absolutely faster. But, you know, a little less what we normally see. And DrKelexo, we'll see what Gary's lunchbox has today.
Yeah, after this, I think we're going to see the Mire area finally. Well, I guess there's still the East Death Mountain Dark World play, if he wants to go up there without any medallions.
We want the desert play. Let's do this.
It might be happening.
Yeah, with Trenter passing on the blue pendant, DrKelexo is my only hope for this this desert gamble. So I've got all my eggs in the DrKelexo basket at this point.
All right, we'll have to see what happens.
Come on.
A couple of bombs here, 6 to be exact. We've got a Quake from Mire. So we know one of the possibly 2 medallions that we need to find still. Or at least checking the ledge for some.
All right, so we're near desert. We're near.
We're
little mirror bonk there.
No big deal. Just maybe incentivizes him to go in the desert some more. Nope.
I think we're gonna see checkerboard cave. I think
Yeah,
that
that
makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I mean, at this point, I would probably check in the desert too, just because I'm looking for, 3 medallions, or at this point, at least 1.
Yeah. Oh, Agina's cave. Okay. Yeah, you can't dash that slope, though. It puts you 1 pixel off of the wall, and that 1 pixel puts you right into that cactus. It's very inconvenient.
Yeah, I have unfortunately experienced this a lot myself.
Yeah, we've all done it. We've all done it. Huh. That stealth. Oh, Trenter.
Oh, that was so close. Oh no.
A big death. Ugh. And he was playing so carefully through Ice Palace. Thankfully, having half magic means he can get right back into this.
Yeah.
He's been very, very persistent this run, fighting through a lot of these tougher deaths.
Yeah, absolutely props to him. I mean, I think we can see here or there that it's kind of having an effect on him, because who wouldn't it have an effect on at this point? But he's powering through, and he's doing a great job at this, and much props for sticking through everything, and especially these costly and harsh deaths.
Yeah, I mean, you're an hour 40 into the seed. You're watching for your opponent to finish at this point, and you're seeing where you are crystal-wise, and just thinking, can this one just end already? But until you see that dot done, you're playing. So it's good to see him continue to make good decisions, continue to battle here in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like Dark Death Mountain is going to be the play here. I disagree strongly with this decision. No,
I wonder why.
I think this is a rational decision. I think it's a good one to go find out what Medallion Turtle Rock is, and you can do all of Hookshot Cave. You can do the Super Bunny Cave. It's not the gamble we want, but it might be.
The gamble we need.
Yeah, it might be the gamble we need here.
Okay, Quake again. So we only need to find one of those 3 medallions. Now the big question is gonna be, where is that one medallion? At the very least, it looks like we won't be in a situation where one medallion will lead to the medallion that you actually need.
That's what you think.
You think there's a specialized Turtle Rock and Mire Quake medallion in the seed?
Yep, I think there's something's behind the medallion somewhere. No,
okay.
that is of course not going to happen. We know that the runners will find Quake medallion somewhere, not behind Ether or Bombos, because the only thing that could be behind Bombos would be Ice Palace, but they have Fire Rod, and they've already been there. So let's see what we get here in Super Bunny Cave.
We did find a Tempered Sword, which is at least very nice, because you don't have to spin Ganon anymore now.
That's true. The Tempered Sword, the last sort of high value sword upgrade. But I'm looking at this desert play. there are very few plays that are left.
It's looking more and more likely. I mean, at this point, I can't even disagree anymore.
We're turning in the mushroom.
Should have made that desert play right from the get-go.
Also, we're gonna powder the witch for good luck.
You know why that is? Because that witch is a very complicated customer. She never accepts her mushroom on the first try, never.
We're also... Oh no! Oh no. Trenter.
Oh my god.
The cold stare death, and right back in.
Yep. Doesn't even think about it.
Trenter is the most persistent runner I have ever seen. This is great. This is great persistence.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to have an example of how persistent and how determined you should be when you play Seeds, this is it.
I don't know if I could do this.
Well, I would have been out of there after the first death.
So, yeah, you guys, if you are so inclined, feel free to show Trenter and or DrKelexo some support by giving the runners a follow. They're putting on a really nice race for us today, and I'm sure it would be very appreciated. But yeah, Trenter is really having some rough deaths, but is just sticking right through it. I hope this cold stare fight goes better.
Me too, yeah. He absolutely deserves to finally get through this Ice Palace now.
And nicely executed that time on the Stalfos Night Room. And in that little window of time, I would be remiss if I didn't share just how excited I am for where DrKelexo is presently.
Yes, I was waiting for you to bring it up.
Yeah, for lack of any other options for where to go, DrKelexo has found himself making the stupid desert play.
Finally, we find ourselves in Desert Palace.
So I am so excited about this. I think that this is where progress has to be. Unfortunately, we don't know what Kelexo has or has not found. It appears to have been Quake Medallion. By the way he's moving toward Meyer, I have a strong suspicion.
Yes,
oh, there it is.
Was.
We get a pause
There
menu
it is.
frame, and we have a Quake Medallion. There is Meyer. Let's go.
Right. Let's go indeed. So now we're hoping to find this last little item that can be pretty much anywhere before the boss that we needed to kill.
Yeah. And so, if Meyer comes up blank, do you go finish Desert and do Ped while you're here before diving T-Rock?
No.
Okay, because I absolutely do. I don't even think that that's that stupid of a play.
It's not.
I've been, ribbing myself with hype over this desert play because I forgot Ice Palace existed. The trauma was too recent, but I would totally get those locations off the map and not risk the laser bridge strikeout.
I mean, yeah, my decision is mainly informed by refusing to believe that the bow could be in GT, and especially the tile room in the first tournament match I played. And I checked literally everything in the whole seed that I could. I think my collection rate was over 200 at the end before going into GT. So, yeah, at this point I would just go straight into Turtle Rock and gamble it.
Yeah, normally I'm all about the Ice Rod gamble. Just with the texture of this seed, I think that the runners have seen so many other locations. Looks like Kelexo's okay, not setting up a death warp. The heads were just being pernicious there. But yeah, because there are so few other item locations, I think that the right expected value play might actually be clear Desert and do Ped.
Yeah, I mean, I think clearing Desert is probably not a bad idea in general. It's two items, and even though the value of overworld items has been slightly increased with version 29, I don't think, ignoring dungeons that you can theoretically complete for the overworld is necessarily a good idea. So I definitely agree with the desert play in general.
Yeah, not before the Ice Palace play, but we did get there eventually. And pretty nice Lonely Fire bar there from Trenter. He's gotten a few rounds of practice at it so far, but this trip through Ice Palace has been pretty clean.
Yeah, and he's still at almost full health, and now coming closer and closer to the boss.
Full health and full half magic. So I'm rooting for a good cold stare here.
Yeah, I think this is the one. This is the one. He's at full magic. He's at almost full health. I think he's got this.
dodging some ice cubes and getting that first spin and trying to fire rod them into the corner. Okay, 1 puff down. 2 to go. And, oh, switching over. We are out of magic, but puffs are down. Yeah, that was a nice cold stare fight there, getting some well-earned revenge. I'm so glad that Trenter's through Ice Palace now.
Yes, very nicely done. Absolutely deserved to finally get through this.
I'm sure that he is also very glad to see Ice Palace done. Meanwhile, DrKelexo is coming up on Vitreous here, and so we will probably get to see what takes one of the sort of potentially more obnoxious boss fights in Vitreous and turns it into a pretty easy one with the silver arrows.
Yeah, I'm always very... I don't know, for the first couple of seconds, if I enter the Vitreous boss fight without silver arrows, I always feel very lost. Because it's a lot harder than the silvers make it. The silvers make it just so ridiculously easy.
Oh yeah, I mean, before I learned NMG with Vitreous, if I didn't have silvers or I didn't have like the cape plus a good sword or something to like use the side-to-side dash strats or the stand-in and slash all the eyeballs down strats, Vitreous was a heck of a boss to deal with. And yeah, DrKelexo has shown just how easy it is with the silvers, sniping each small eye once and the big eye twice, and getting that crystal. But there are, consistent if tough to execute strats for Vitreous with just, usually you'll have the tempered sword at that point, but if you go in with like Master Sword and with no bow and no cape, it's a hard fight.
Oh yeah, it sure is.
And looks like Trenter might be headed for Desert and Mire, so might be closing the gap here. Just after turning in that mushroom, looks like, yeah, we're headed for Gina's cave.
Oh, and I see what DrKelexo is doing. Alright, I completely forgot that this would unlock the Pyramid Fairy.
Yep. He's gonna be buying a bomb and blowing open a hole in the pyramid. And I like that. I like that call. Yeah,
I think this is a good decision to make before you either go back into Desert Palace or head up there and make the gamble on Turtle Rock having your Ice Rod.
Yeah, I agree. I like going to Turtle Rock like you were saying early. And okay, DrKelexo taking the long way around a little bit faster if he'd use the Aghanim portal, but this will work. This is kind of the intended route for bombing open this, but normally I do like gambling on Turtle Rock because there are a lot of items there, and Laser Bridge is usually fairly dense, and being able to kind of go mode back through Turtle Rock is slow, but not the absolute worst thing. But because there's so few item locations left in the overworld and in other dungeons, I do like cleaning them out, looking for this Ice Rod, and Fat Fairy was not it.
No, we do get a free green goo and our first mail upgrade, which it's about time, I would say.
Yeah, these runners have been wandering around in green mail for almost 2 hours now, so this is good. Getting that blue mail. But are we gonna see blind ped pull? I won't. No. Okay, now I really want it to be Ice Rod on ped.
Of course you do.
I want it.
Oh, I mean, if Trenter really feels behind, he might just opt to do exactly that.
Trenter doesn't have the blue pendant, so that would be
right.
That would be a big ask.
Oh man. Well, he almost had it, which might still be on his mind. There's the Quake medallion that we missed out on earlier.
Yeah, so now we have the answer to where was Quake. And, okay, we're getting a Spike Cave check. That's one that we forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
And Trenter looks to be leaving and heading right for Meyer. Seems good.
Yep, absolutely. Good choice. That's where he should be going, I think. And DrKelexo walking back out of Spike Cave, so he definitely plans on going to Turtle Rock, I'd say.
Yeah, looks like it. And looks like he's going to mirror over here. I do not know where to mirror over here, but yeah, DrKelexo gets a good spot, and he's going to be on his way up to make the Turtle Rock play. So, pending, there's potential, if it is Ice Rod Ped, for Trenter to close the gap in this seed a little bit, but if Ice Rod's in Turtle Rock, that would give DrKelexo... That would further extend DrKelexo's lead, is what I'll say.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, none of these guys will know if the Ice Rod is on pad before they find the book, or before they just go and pull it, obviously. But both of them missing at least one pendant. Now, Trenter also decided not to finish up Desert Palace, which is not necessarily a bad decision. But if it is a Gene pedestal, he's even further away from it than DrKelexo is.
Yeah. And actually, have we seen what Green Pendant leads to yet?
I don't think DrKelexo ever went back to turn it in.
Yeah, he finished Thieves Town, but I don't think we've seen Sahasrara since then.
So that's definitely still on the table as well.
Yeah, so thinking about it now, we're looking at, there was Pedestal, Green Pendant, Spike Cave, and a handful of other kind of disparate locations over the map. So now that we're kind of enumerating that list, I am kind of back on that just go to T-Rock and hope for Ice Rod play.
I do think there's a really good chance that DrKelexo will stumble upon the Ice Rod somewhere in here and be able to just finish up the rest of the crystals and be done with it.
They're getting a little beat up by these roller bars, but gets a big key and a small key for a reward, so pretty good haul there out of the roller room. So we're gonna see there's potential in the Chain Chomp's room because he did get a small key already. But I think we're just going to see this full clear Turtle Rock, and if the Ice Rod shows up, we're in go mode.
Yeah, it's I won't be surprised to see it on that laser bridge, because usually that seems to be where you find the stuff that you're looking for.
And DrKelexo getting pretty beat up here by those chomps, but using the cape to get through safely, getting a small key out of the chomp room. And Trenter is into the basement of Meyer, so gonna be making his way over to fight Vitreous. As DrKelexo is coming up on the Turtle Rock big key location, so with the big key already in hand, and No keys. Let's see. I'm trying to think. What's the next? We do get another chest, so I think it's worth checking this one. I don't think it's guaranteed to be a small key.
I think so. I can never really tell. Yeah, it definitely is.
So it looks like Trenter is now onto Vitreous. Missing a couple of these shots, but picking these eyes off pretty deftly.
Yeah, really quickly, no problem.
Yeah, nice two-cycle Vitreous. Also, using the silver arrows. And just a small key for the reward, but also a crystal. And so we might see that pyramid play. Finally getting some blue mail. And DrKelexo using some silver strats here in Mimic Cave. Don't know if I've seen that before. But just a bomb capacity expansion. So, let's see. It looks like all our hopes rest in the remainder of Turtle Rock. And Trenter's looking like, yeah, he's headed for that Fat Fairy. Not gonna fool around. For a moment, I was looking at maybe going back in the swamp, but no, there's no way. So looks like, yeah, was that a bottle in that room there? I think it was a bottle. And Trenter is using the Aga Mirror. This is a little bit faster of a way over to the pyramid than what we saw DrKelexo take, but not so fast. Just a small optimization. It was a B-Torp, and thank you for those beautiful B-Torps in chat. As DrKelexo is doing the dark maze room, and there's Trenter's blue mail. His avatar now wearing a nice blue dress. I like that the sprite Trenter's playing as. I don't know who it is, but it's pretty cool.
I think it's Blind's maiden. That's why she turns into blind when she gets hit by a bunny sprite.
Oh,
by a thing.
Yeah, that would make sense. That was a little blind that she turned into it. Oh no, that's exactly what we did not want to see on the laser bridge there from DrKelexo.
Of course, it is the book.
And he pokes that eye with the hook shot, only presumably out of spite. Yeah, that ain't good. Oh, hookshotting the laser does not let you skip it, unfortunately. So
sadly, no.
He did take that safety exit, so he'll be able to tank this laser hit here. And there, he is successful. Getting the iframes from the hookshot used to sort of pseudo laser skip. But let's see, we're dead on ice rods, so. And looks like Trenter might be making the same T-Rock play.
Yeah, looks like Trenter following right in DrKelexo's footsteps here. He's also going to be equally disappointed about finding that book. And yeah, I mean, that's the 2 tablets, and
So if you are DrKelexo, I think Ether Tablet is an obvious one. as far as the first things to do. But in what order do you do the rest of the things?
I personally do Bombo's tablet next.
Yeah, I was leaning... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and then I'd probably go pedestal.
Oh, there it is. So, seed A+ troll. That was an ice rod on the ether tablet. And a dead rock on the bridge. That just reset the screen, please. Okay, there we go. Okay, dead rock moved in a good way. But yeah, laser bridge to book to ether tablet, and good on DrKelexo using that mirror spot there on the safety exit to get right back in here. So
yeah, very well done.
Didn't lose his mirror spot. That was a very, very smart play.
Yeah, and sadly for Trenta here, I think that also will seal his fate.
Yeah, that probably will be... I mean, that puts DrKelexo in a very commanding position at this point. It's go mode deep in Turtle Rock. That'll be a 7th crystal. And he will be over to Ganon's Tower very soon. And so we are starting our last boss fight. So we know about what time that is.
I'm not sure what you could be talking about.
I don't know. Aw, man. I typed start and Snuskguba underscore has taken my guess, Dan's game, but I'll guess 15.
Okay, I've got my guess in, thankfully, which is number 8.
You got your guess in on time. I was dilly-dallying, and Snuskguba sniped me. Shucks.
You're on the list now.
Yeah. But meanwhile, that was a good first try next phase from DrKelexo, as Trenter also getting a little rolled on here, but now he's rolling through T-Rock, gonna make his way to the back part of the dungeon and find that book and hopefully make a very similar play to what we just saw from DrKelexo.
Yeah, and I also really do hope that Trencher is aware of that little mirror portal location as well, so he doesn't have to waste a whole lot of time going all the way back through the Turtle Rock.
Yeah, so you have a few more seconds to get those guesses in. If you aren't familiar with what's going on there, 22 item locations in Ganon's Tower. Your job is to, if you wish, try to guess which of those in sequence of how DrKelexo checks them will be the big key. It's our big key guessing game. We do have a leaderboard for it. If you are subscribed to any Speed Gaming channel or have donated a total of 250 bits across Speed Gaming channels, you're eligible for participation in that leaderboard, which will just rank whoever has guessed first the most correct answers. And so, very easy game, 1 in 22 chance. Now is your last shot at it. Welcome and thanks for the sub to Zook Moten. Good luck.
Yep, thank you very much. Get your guess in there.
And 1 and 2 were not the big key.
Nope.
Okay, it looks like we are set up for a kind of the old school left side play, which is where my 15 guess comes from. That would be the vanilla big key location on this side. So that's what I'm rooting for.
Oh, okay, I see.
So I'm
My
hoping,
left side. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm hoping we get to see. Ooh, red mail. I'm hoping we get to see an Ice Armos.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the double firebar room, which is number 8 when you route it this way.
And Firebar Room, unfortunately. Wow. Is that 19 hearts? That is 19 hearts. And so Trenter, on his way to the inevitable disappointment and then relief of Laser Bridge, and DrKelexo getting a little spiked, getting beat up there, but makes it through into now the Fire Snake Room. I think that is 13? No, sorry, that's 9. 9, sorry.
Yes.
Then 10 through 13 are over here in the so-called Rando Room.
Exactly.
Sorry about that.
You're just too excited about that number 15 location, man.
I know, I am just... All my eggs are in the Snuskgubba basket.
How quickly we forget about Desert Palace.
Yeah, it's a gambler's fallacy thing, like, it's gonna come up soon, I'm due. Forget the losses, on to the next win.
Yeah, I can see that.
Meanwhile, Trenter is on Laser Bridge. And I think here comes that book. We'll see if it gets a bomb. No, just nonchalantly finishing off Laser Bridge. And looks like Trenter does know what to do here.
Yeah, and as you were saying, hopefully he makes exactly the same choices that DrKelexo made over here. Walking right over to that ether tablet and picking up his ice rod.
Yeah, and throwing the skull at Bob. And, okay, 14 it was not. So we do get some Ice Armos action. We'll see what sort of strat DrKelexo uses for Ice Armos. Silvers make this fight much simpler than it is without. That was just... Still, it is Armos on ice. And Bombos, small key and bombs. It's right side or tile room, 15 through 17 it was not.
So, we were right side with on the right place. But this one likely the right place.
I don't know if that came through as intended. I think it was, yeah, okay. I was waiting on the chat delay. Unfortunately, that one didn't quite work. Robot Durfee. Something about right side play, though. Right side play a little more likely to have paid out. And so we are seeing the tile room play right away from DrKelexo before doing the rest of right side.
Okay, I think we're both unroboted now.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Was I roboted for you then?
Yes, you were also roboted when you answered me, but I understood you a little better, seemingly, because I could tell what you were saying, but you were sounding like an actual robot.
Oh my. So, apologies. Or, you're welcome for the bonus robot commentary.
Yes, you get everything here. We provide the entertainment not only by amazing random players, but also by great effects.
Yeah, the voice changers are in full effect here. Oh, don't get grabbed. Okay, good. DrKelexo made it through. getting grabbed from after lighting those torches trying to dash through that door is just always the most disappointing. It looked like Trenter didn't have the same heads-up sort of ledge-hopping play, but did get the ice rod, and so we're seeing Trenter have to kind of make the way back through T-Rock.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but at least they're able to finish their Turtle Rock and grab their last crystal now, which shouldn't be a problem.
And there it was, and the last chest for good measure, but 21 was the winner, so whoever guessed blackjack. Wasn't what we think of as the blackjack, but it was. It was the 21st by virtue of having checked that tile room early. Rip to whoever guessed 20.
Well, looks like the closest that we got from a supporter, at least, was Helior with 18, so GG, I guess.
Yeah, congrats to Helior on the win.
There's already someone with 3 wins on there. That can't be right.
Yeah, I guess looks like Faye wins is a savant and or watches a lot of Rando. Both of those are great things.
I agree.
Yeah, with DrKelexo now into Upper Ganon's Tower, I need to apologize and say that unfortunately I'm going to have to dip out at this point. So thank you, Herfy, for letting me join you on commentary. Sorry I can't hold up my end of the bargain and make it through the end of the match. And good luck to Trenter and DrKelexo as they finish out. I apologize. I was stepping in without realizing the commitment of my service, and so I apologize. I have another race that I need to be involved in about a half hour, and so I unfortunately cannot stay.
No problem. Thank you very much for spending your time and volunteering your time and commentating with me. It was a pleasure and an honor. Thanks for, again, volunteering your time, and good luck in the other race that you're involved in.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully the internet holds up better for that one.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. But good luck to both the runners as they finish up, and I've really enjoyed this race, so thank you to both of them preemptively. I'm sure they'll finish up just fine. But take it easy, Herfy, and thank you to chat. Oh, thank you also to Maxi Mini or Maxemini if you're an Outcast fan for the tracking. But take it easy.
Have a good one. All right, we got Trenter here finishing up his Trinix fight beautifully, makes it through no problem, and DrKelexo finishing up his Land Mode 2 fight just as beautifully, making it through no problem as well. Picks up a heart just in case his, 14 that he has now, 13 weren't enough. And as you guys were pointing out so aptly earlier, we are at 19 hearts. I kind of doubt we're gonna see 20 hearts, just because there is probably at least one other heart piece somewhere that DrKelexo never saw. But we're at 19 hearts. Oh, DrKelexo gets knocked off the bridge here. Gonna be heading into the torch room. Meanwhile, Trenter heading over to Ganon's Tower, opening that up at the 2 hour, 18 minutes and about 30 seconds, I'd say. If Trenter immediately goes right side, he can make a lot of good time. If he doesn't go for the same, first 2 chests on the right side and then go left side play that DrKelexo did, he can definitely save a lot of time. It's not going to be enough to catch up, but it's going to be enough to possibly make it close. Since we're at Tempered Sword now, we're not really in too much danger of falling off from, getting a weird spin on Ganon or something. There's one on Hylia Island. What's on Hylia Island? Oh, they didn't have a small key? Okay, I see what the problem is there. Oh, a heart piece. Okay, yeah, okay. That makes sense. See? We're sadly having a little trouble here with the restream, it looks like. But I'm gonna just entertain you guys by talking about things that are gonna be interesting, hopefully. Anyway, DrKelexo probably about done with his Trolldorm 2 fight now, I would wager. He's gonna be heading off into his Aga 2 fight, which we will hopefully catch as soon as possible. Oh look, there we're back at the Aga 2 fight, just as I was predicting. I'm so good. There we go. Just had a nice little setup there. Sadly, only gets a single, but nice double and a blue ball. Ooh, and another nice double, and there we go. Aga 2 down for DrKelexo. All that's left is to go kill a big blue pig. We'll never know, Astronerd. We'll never know. It's gonna be a mystery forever. Here's some good tips from Ganon on your breakfast. What you should be eating instead of whatever you're currently eating for breakfast. Gets Ganon in a nice little position down there. Unfortunately gets nicked by the trident, but with 19 hearts, really in no danger of dying anywhere. Even deciding to go for the cape strats, not a bad idea. You're not going to be bothered by the fire bats at all. With half magic, you have plenty of magic to support this for quite a while. And he immediately gets through the second phase, so off to phase 3 we go. Well, Trenter is struggling a little bit here with Bob. Bob wants a hug. Heading off to Ice Armos, and then going to be disappointed to find out that he's going to be heading back for the right side to find that big key. DrKelexo getting all the teleports. And then Ganon saved them up for quite some time. There we go. Finally gets the third hit in. And immediately the fourth. And yes, we have indeed found... Oh, that was a little unfortunate. Oh, yes, we have found the silver arrows. We get the torch glitch as well, so that should make the rest of this fight pretty handy. There we go, first silver arrow in the face, or in the side, I guess. That one was more in the face, maybe in the tummy. Very nicely done here by DrKelexo. Oh, look at this. Oh, very close to falling down, but gets it. There's the fourth arrow, and GG to DrKelexo. Going to be soared up from him at 2:23:23 on his timer at least. And we'll see when he walks through the door and hopefully stops his timer. We're also getting, just as I'm looking over on the other screen, we're getting a tile room gamble from Trenter, holding on to the wall so his magic doesn't decrease in invisible and invulnerable cape form. Just waiting out these tiles to disappear, and now he wants to switch, but the problem is he's going to be hit by the bunny beam as well as the tile if he switches now. Probably just telling his opponent GG on his RTV, congratulating him, maybe thinking what to do next, but there we go. Gotta wait for that wall master to go away. Oh, look, we get to need to see the little tiny blind again. And only a small key in tile room. All that waiting time for nothing. But at least we got to see what's in there, right? And yeah, as you guys are pointing out here in chat, it wasn't quite a pet seed, but might have been as well. Oh man, and Tranter gets a double wombo combo of the door closing in his face as he's dashing down, as well as the wall master grabbing him afterwards. Couldn't have gone any worse. I guess he could have died from the bonk somehow, from a sudden heart attack or a concussion or something, but really, that was the worst combo you could probably get in that room. Alright, Trenter makes it through this time. On his way, getting closer and closer to his big key. And there it is, in the second to last chest, just opening chest number 22 as well, just for good measure. Taking the warp, taking the mirror out, and off we go. And we've got DrKelexo here for his post-game interview, so let me say hi to him for a second. Hey there, DrKelexo. GG and congrats on your win. How are you feeling?
Confused? I did not expect to win that one.
Yeah, your opponent had some unfortunate routing choices as well as some trouble with costly deaths, I would call it. He died to Cold Stare once or twice, or he died in Ice Palace at least once or twice. And yeah, it was just a lot of costly things, and he had Argus on the last phase and was shooting silver arrows and barely missed him and got nicked by him and died as well and never even went back, which wasn't a problem because Argus himself didn't hold anything. But it's just a lot of, little things that cost him time, unfortunately, over the course of the seed. But yeah, this was quite a trolly one.
That book.
Yeah, that book.
That book kind of gave me the scare, and then I kind of realized I could kind of just mirror out and go to the most of the things that it would actually give me access to without having to lose that progress.
Were you at any point worried that the ice rod could be on the pedestal?
Yes, I was. I think I was pretty convinced for most of it that it was just in Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
There was that awful moment where you're like, well, it's gotta be in Turtle Rock, but if I go there and it's not there, I'm gonna feel so dumb, so I have to check everything else. And then eventually, like, all right, it's gotta be a Turtle Rock now. And then I find that book, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, that book really, it was awful, and then thankfully it gave you like the shortest possible distance for the next thing it could be.
Yeah, I was so relieved to see that right there. It's like, oh, that really didn't lose me much time at all.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a big relief, but at the same time, I kind of feel like it was also a little bit the game giving you the middle finger in a way. Just throwing the double dip in there just so you have to double dip Turtle Rock, even though it's totally useless and right next to it.
Right. Oh man, I'm still kind of. I mean, I expected honestly to lose after not going to Sarasala's hut for the longest time, and then finally going there, and not 3 vital items, but 3 very good items, all right there, and just all right in a row, and I'm like, oh no, that can't be good.
Yeah, you guys really, I mean, I'm trying to think back here, and at the start you guys were really neck and neck. You traded lead, here and there. It wasn't, a lot of difference by a couple of seconds here or there. You were in the lead, then he was in the lead, it went back and forth. And then eventually it just kind of, after Aghanim 1, you both immediately went to Aghanim 1 after you were done with Hera. And did that for the Dark World Axis. And you went into Pod, and he decided to... Where did he go? He did not go into Pod for quite some time. He didn't go into Pod until he had the bow. I think he dipped into Eastern and did Sahasrara and all of that stuff. And that really led him sort of in a different direction from you, but eventually the seed kind of railroaded you into where you could go in a way, because first the gloves were missing forever, and then the Titan Smiths were missing forever. So really, those two things were like the items that were holding you back.
I don't know if you could tell, but I wasn't really used to playing the game without any gloves whatsoever. It's like, usually I find them not that late.
Yeah, it's totally understandable, and it was visible in your opponent as well. You both tried to go to Catfish and then realized, oh wait, there's a big, 2x2 rock in the way that I can't lift with anything.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Wow. Because at that point I thought I had completely lost it, because I went to Catfish, I died going to Catfish, and then I tried to go back, only to find out I couldn't do it. It's like, oh yeah, obviously. And then I'm pretty sure I died again trying to go to Thieves Town. So it was just all sorts of a mess from there, and then kind of picked it up again, but it was...
I think you did pretty well, especially considering what the seed gave you guys. Chad is pointing out right now, which I had completely forgotten about, so thanks for that. Another big difference was Trenter immediately mirrored out after grabbing that fire rod from the big chest and swamp. Like, he grabbed the big key, and then he grabbed the fire rod, and he immediately got the mirror out and left and went to Skullwoods. And then, he had to come back much later and grab those Titans, and that really only advanced the seed for him at that point. So he was always that half a swamp or something behind you.
I never trust leaving Swamp early. There's always more in Swamp. It's just the most ridiculous dungeon. Like, a Pendant Swamp, you just know something's there.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
The game is just like that. It doesn't want you to get out early.
Well, but still, you pulled it out. You defeated your opponent. Not quite sure by how much yet. He just killed Aga 2, so he's on to his Ganon fight now. But you pulled it out. You made it to 1-1. You looking forward to anyone? Do you have your eyes set on anyone? Do you have anyone you definitely don't want to face? I mean, maybe. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, there's the obvious answers of like, yeah, I don't want to race against Andy or ACMLM, which is like, yeah, okay, duh, of course. Who wants to race against those guys?
And honestly, as long as I'm just racing against people around my level, then that's fine with me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not really big in the community or anything, so I'm just happy to actually have close races with people. Like the last one I lost, but it was still a pretty close race, and I was really happy about that. So.
Yeah, and by the looks of it, this one is just as close. So I think, at least from what I've seen so far, you're putting on very entertaining races. You're definitely not embarrassing yourself out there.
Oh, I thought like it, so.
I mean, I personally feel like that is just kind of an inherent thing of being a runner and being restreamed, because everything feels embarrassing when you know that a couple of hundred people are watching you,
It's true. It's true.
Oh, and Trentar needs to be careful. He made it to... Oh, he has a blue potion. Never mind. False alert. Oh yeah, and just because I'm seeing it now with this hearts refilling, 19 hearts.
Yeah, I didn't check how many heart pieces I had, but that pretty close to having all of them.
Yeah, Chad told me that there was one on Lake Hylia Island, which neither of you picked up, so there was at least one of them missing. I think it was at least that one, and maybe one more in, I don't know, somewhere. I think we've seen pretty much everything else. There's Ether and the Bugnet missing on your tracker.
Right, yeah. It's 189 to 216, and I got almost everything against Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, okay. Your opponent apparently picked up the heart piece on Lake Hylia Island, so there must be at least one more somewhere.
yeah. Huh. Oh, I didn't even look at my credits. I don't know what was on the pedestal.
The last sword upgrade.
Really? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Would have been a classic pedestal pull, more or less. Unfortunately, it would have been a blind pull for most of the seed.
Yeah.
We were debating for a while if one of you guys would do the thing of finishing Desert and then just blind pulling the pedestal instead of heading up to Turtle Rock. It seems like a very bad idea, you know. Usually the logical or the normal play is going up to Turtle Rock, but yeah, we were wondering. GG DeTrente managed to beat that seed with a time on his timer of 2:35:39, so about 12 minutes after you finished. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, that's good. GG.
Also, already here in the setup room, so give me a second here for. Yep, there's the sound, and let me pull them in. Hey there, Trenta, GG.
Yeah, thank you. Oh.
Oh man, yeah, you had a little bit of a rough time with that seed, huh?
Little bit. That's like my nightmare of a seed at all. Like so linear. Hey, try to dip there. Try to dip there. I'm not giving you anything, and then I didn't play good. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying props to you for sticking it out, for example, so long in Ice Palace, and it wasn't pleasurable. We could tell that you weren't exactly having fun with this one.
Not at all. No.
Yeah.
There were so many
Other.
points in the
Oh, sorry.
sea. No, there's so many points in the sea where you're just like, well, I can go here and here, but either way, it's not going to feel good. And it's like, even if I find the thing that I need, it's not going to feel good because I'm going to have to like leave and then come back anyway. Like doing swamp, just nothing felt right.
Yeah, the same. Like the ice rod.
Yeah,
Like,
the ice rod.
in a plando, that's fine. In a rando, why?
Yeah, I was saying earlier to DrKelexo that that book on Laser Bridge that led to the ice rod that was immediately next to it on the ether tablet, that felt like a final, mean thing from the sea, just to be mean and spiteful. It was such an unnecessary Turtle Rock double dip, but it had to put it in there somehow.
Like I was glad with Desert Palace that I found the item that I needed. I wasn't happy at all when we actually got mids. Like, why? And who puts the fucking poet lumberjack? Come on!
That was, an unfortunate location. Thankfully, you both checked it in the beginning, so you both had the information, which doesn't make it more fun. I'm not saying that, but at least, nobody went the whole seed, and I was like, wait, where's the bow? And then an hour and 45 minutes in, they finally checked the lumberjacks and do Aga 1 or something.
Cruel seed. How late where was the blue mail again?
Oh man, where did you guys pick up the blue mail? There was a single item locations a single item location. I think I remember that. And it was very late. You didn't pick it up until an hour and like 45 or something. Oh, it was Pyramid Fairy.
That's
Okay,
right.
yeah.
At least now I know where my butter sword is.
Oh,
Yep.
right.
Not gonna get that one. What was your... Why did you decide to mirror out immediately in Swamp Palace after getting that fire rod? Did you not think there might be something else in there?
Honestly, my last seed there was only the fire rod in there, in the big chest, and I was like, deja vu?
Yeah, okay, I can 100% see that. That makes total sense.
The other thing is you get the big key that early, and there's actually a flame rod, the flame rod, and you're like, yes, progression. I don't need to do this again. Honestly, when I saw Aghanim with a bow, I had already the thought, oh, this could be a pedestal. This is not good. Thank God.
Yeah, we were wondering because DrKelexo actually finished up both Thieves Town and Swamp Palace and had both of those pendants, and was obviously also in Desert Palace because of the item in there. So we were wondering if he would maybe make the play of, okay, I'm already in Desert Palace, I finished up Misery Mire, maybe I go back to Desert, grab the last pendant, and blind pull the pedestal for the Ice Rod, maybe. But no, he also decided to head up to Turtle Rock, and he went through exactly the same thing you did, just about 10 or 12 minutes earlier.
Yeah, the deaths on Aghanim. I have no idea how many deaths on Ice Palace. Where did I die as well? Everywhere.
Yeah,
Let's
the
put it
problem,
this way, everywhere.
the problem was most of your deaths were so costly in time. You died at the worst possible spots.
Oh, I loved Pod. Only one more hammer hit, and the mask would go away, and I was like, I get it. I was too greedy, and yeah, I paid for that, and Ice Palace wasn't better, and the other thing is, like, you get no items at all. You are like, come on. Oh, I'm glad this is over, actually.
I can imagine that. Well, I won't keep you guys here any longer. We are now slowly starting to see the rest of the credits for you roll in, and maybe your stats coming up here. But if you have any final words or shout outs or anything that we want to get off your chest here before we sign off, feel free to do so now.
No, I'm good.
GG to you.
Oh, GG,
Thanks for running with me, and I hope chat had fun, even though I died a lot.
Oh, I hope they enjoyed watching. Apparently, both of us fail a lot, because I know I didn't have a lot of confidence going into Gannis Tower, but
we all had plenty of fun watching you guys, and it was very entertaining, and I don't think either of you need to feel bad about this. The seed was not exactly a friendly one, let's put it that way. And, well, thanks again for running, letting yourself be restreamed. GG to both of you. Good luck on the rest of your tournament, of course.
thank you.
If you guys enjoyed what you saw, oh, of course, no problem. It's a pleasure. If you guys enjoyed what you saw from both of these guys, please, I put the links in the chat. Please make sure to go over and maybe give these guys a follow. I want to thank my co-commentator for most of the seed. Unfortunately, he had to run over and get up to his other commitment, Maniacal. I also want to thank Max and Mini for tracking all the items here. And of course, thanks to Fiesel and the Speed Gaming Network for restreaming everything. Please make sure to follow Speed Gaming 1 through 6 and also the ALTTP randomizer channels 1 through 4, where you can see plenty of other Link to the Past randomizer runs and plenty of other games as well here on the Speed Gaming Network. I hope you guys have a great night and stick around for more randomizer. See you around. Bye.